race fans, super stock action. Let's talk about last week's action. Invitational season is absolutely here. National title implications on the line. Things are going to get really interesting. Let's talk about it a little bit. Let's get to the power rankings as well. So let's head out to the Electric City Speedway. Of course, they had the 25th annual Montana Roundup out there. Superstocks didn't race all 3 nights. They raced night 2 and night 3. Day number 2 winner, Nick Hunter. He got it done. He got his first of the year all the way into September, but his first of the year, great job for the 58. Night number 2, I guess it would be night number 3 of the show, but night 2 for the Supers. Bo Brown, he got it done. His 5th of the year in the 00. Great racing action out in the Electric City Speedway out in Great Falls, Montana. Now let's stay in Montana. Let's go to the Gallatin Speedway up in Belgrade. Paul Leese, he got it done. His 4th of the year out there in Belgrade. And I got to get out to that place. It's pretty scenic out there. I've had an offer. Bo Brown, I think I'm going to have to take you up on that next year. So keep that other car. I might have to come out and play with you guys. Be a hell of a trip. Come see you guys. Brown County Speedway over in Aberdeen, South Dakota. They had the Big Buck Nationals. How about this? Shane Brick shocked the world, and he upset Trevor Nelson to get it done. Sounds like he might have drove by him to get it done. His 3rd of the year. Tip of the cap to you. It is not easy to beat that 71, and he got it done on at a big show out there. Grand Rapids Speedway. They had the 27th annual Wissota Classic. Taryn Spacex made it 3 in a row. And I said, this guy, when it comes to invite time, keep an eye on the 22. He is absolutely fast. Now, you make the call. He might have got a gift on this one. You're going to have to take a look at the action here. And basically what happened, it was a little bit greasy. It was kind of misting the whole race. And sounds like his shield fogged up, but needless to say, he got into the back of the lapper and then come out of turn 4. Another car there was died. He got into him and mayhem. All hell broke loose. I mean, he tore stuff up on that car. They threw the yellow and they decided to throw the checker. They gave him the spot back. A bit controversial on that one, but a win is a win is a win. You know, it is what it is. Tough break for Shane Sobrasky, who's in a national title hunt. An extra 5 points might come in awfully handy. So let's talk about the North Central Speedway. Of course, they have the Mighty Axe there every year, Labor Day weekend. They had a doubleheader, and Dave Moss made a rare trip up to the North Central Speedway in Brainerd on night 1 and really cruised to an uncontested win. He got 2nd in his last show out. He won this one. He's coming. He's coming. Night number 2, Dustin Nelson. He put the 46 in victory lane. Incidentally, night 2 was better than night 1. Dustin, what are you doing? Come on, man. So they didn't really show it on the video. I heard a little bit about it. Playing kissy face there with Dexton Cook in the 78K. There may have been a little bit of a retaliation deal. I'm not sure. Everybody can make their own assessment, but needless to say, neither one of them finished. But night number 2 was definitely better than night 1 for the 46. Now let's head over to the Hibbing Raceway. They had the Labor Day Shootout. I believe it was a 43rd annual Labor Day Shootout, and national title implications on the line. In my eyes, no offense to anybody else, but the top 3 super stocks in Wissota, Burdick, Sobrasky, Dave Flynn, all in attendance. Taryn Spacex starting in the front couple rows. Jim Campbell led the lion's share of that race. Did a heck of a job using up the racetrack, holding his line, held off. Burdick was charging early in this one, looking to the outside, could not make it happen. Shane Sobrasky, smooth, patient, and took over on the bottom, drove away to steal one at home from Burdick and close the gap in the national title race. And then he went to Madison. He left Sunday night. He drove south. He went home. He went to Madison on Monday, and he parked it in Victory Lane in a pretty convincing win. Out in Madison, the national title race is now tied. It's going to get awfully interesting. Shane Sobrasky, 2 wins on the weekend. Hell of a job for the Ironman. Rice Lake Speedway. This was a good race, too. I watched it on Dirt Race Central. Jesse Radetsky found the high side like he always does. I don't know that there's a better driver in Wissota Superstock Racing at storming around the high side than the 207, and he did it again. His 15th of the year down at the Rice Paddy. Viking Speedway, they have a doubleheader every year, Labor Day weekend as well. Day 1, the track champion Trevor Sauer. He made it 3 straight wins for the 21. Actually drove by my buddy, the 29 star, to get her done. And Sauer has been really, really good down there. Day number 2, Kraus broke. I think he blew up. Sauer got in a crash, and that kind of left it. We're gonna have a new winner here. Carter Rentz looked really good at roughly the midpoint in that race. He was about in 5th, and he was smooth and steady around the bottom of that big half mile. And I believe it's his first ever win on the half mile. He has a win earlier this year, but a great win for Carter Rentz over in Alexandria. So with that said, let's get to it. That's all the SuperStock action for this past week. There wasn't a ton, but there were some pretty big ones. Let's get to the September 9th edition of the BuyRaceShirts.com One to Go Show SuperStock Power Rankings. I'm going to look back here before I do and make sure I didn't miss any. That didn't seem like a whole lot of racing, but that was it. That was it. Some big ones there. So let's get to it. At number 10, Trevor Sauer. Flat out, I mean, I'll be honest, he owns the Viking Speedway. Of course, the season's over there. He's pretty darn good over at I-94. Could he be a guy to contend for a win at the Wissota 100? I guess we'll wait and see. Now, rumor has it that Sauer tore things up bad. And I think he brought out a second car when he went to Madison. I'm not sure if the second car is quite as good as the first car. We'll find out. But Trevor Sauer's put together a great year. We're going to put him at 10. At number 9, Diamond Dave Moss. Uh-oh, here he comes. Now, this weekend, he's going to be at the Sykes. He won't be racing a SuperStock. But here's the question. He'll be at the Wissota 100, and I'm telling you, this is a guy here. It don't matter if he races 1 show, 10 shows, 50 shows. He's fast in that SuperStock. Plain and simple. He's fast. Now, the 30 and the 7A are going there to try to get points. They need some separation. The 2 is absolutely a guy that could keep him from winning. The question I have is this. If he wins night 1, he's not chasing points. Is he just going to take the pole, sit out night 2, sit out night 3? Or is he just going to go there and say, I want to race and I want to spoil the party for these guys? It'll be interesting to see Dave Moss at number 9. At number 8, Jake Knapper. Impressive on Monday. 7th to 3rd. I think he went from 7th to 3rd. I'm going to take a look at it here. 8th to 2nd. Get it right. 8th to 2nd. Impressive, too. He was there. He actually drove by. I think Trevor Nelson got 3rd. But he was right there in the mix, right there in the party. Sobrasky had some separation at the end, but he looked really good. He's put together a season. He got my attention, and he's probably been the best guy in western Minnesota. And I'm talking Montevideo, Madison, over in that area. Pretty darn good at carries, kind of getting that place underneath him, too. Jake Knapper, a solid season. He's at number 8. At number 7, Terrence Spacex. That win in Grand Rapids, that made it 3 in a row. And that was a big one. He won from 8th in Ashland. He won there. Was it a gift? It was absolutely a gift. There's no question about it. But if not for the rain, if not for that, he was gone. Second place wasn't even close. He drove away, and he did make a mistake. He dumped the lapper, plain and simple. And shoulda, woulda, coulda. If they would have made the right call, 7A would have won it. But he had the best car. At the end of the day, the best car in that race won the feature. And he's a guy that could go to the Northern Nationals, make some noise. I expect to see him at the legendary 100 at Cedar Lake. I'm sure he'll be at the Red Clay. Terrence Spacex, a hell of a wheelman, second-generation driver. He's at 7. At number 6, Dan the Sulky, 12th to 2nd. He was there. He actually chased down Radetsky at Rice Lake. He got to him. He's really limited schedule, 20-some shows, very limited for him, but he's on the podium every single night. If this guy raced for points, he'd be dangerous. He really would, but there's no Sunday track in the area. His Friday night track closed down. He's got all kinds of stuff going on with kids and sports, but I'm telling you, when he shows up at the racetrack, don't sleep on this guy. Dan the Sulky, solid. I have him at 6. At number 5, Trevor Nelson. He looked good at Madison. He did. He got 3rd there. He was there. Okay, he was in the punt. He was in the party in the hunt. I'm surprised. I'm shocked. No, this is a testament to Shane Brick. When you beat Trevor Nelson on home, I don't know if he broke. I don't know any story of what happened at Aberdeen because they don't have live streaming. I was shocked that he got beat at home. But he has put together one hell of a season. 19 wins. I believe that's 19 wins. That's impressive. That's one great season for the 71. And no Sunday track. No Sunday track. Now, I've said it once, I said it 1,000 times. If he had a Sunday track, if Watertown was Sundays, if Madison went Sundays, which they can't, they're right by Watertown, they wouldn't do that. But if there was a Sunday track in the area, he'd be joining the party. He would be right there with the 30 and the 7A in the national title hunt. I heard another rumor, don't know if it's true. Rumor has it he might not be in a SUPERSTOCK next year. Little birdie telling me he might be jumping up into the late models. He's a hell of a driver. He'd do just fine there, I can promise you that. Now let's go to number 4, Jesse Radetsky, High Side Hustler. Another win this weekend, and by far, I'm thinking about this. I've been thinking about it for a while. I don't think there's a better driver at getting around the high side than the 207. Now, I'm excited for this weekend. They got the Northern Nationals up at the Gondikla Speedway in Superior. He's going. I don't think he's ever been there before. I know he's been there, but I don't think he's raced there. Super excited because you're going to have all of the top guys there. You're going to have Dave Flynn, Burdick. You're going to have, of course, Terrence Spacex. You're going to have Sobrasky. You're going to have Radetsky. It's going to be stacked. I mean, if you like SUPERSTOCK racing, this is the show you don't want to miss. I'm excited to see how he does there, and I would say he's got to be the favorite to win the Legendary 100 and probably the Punky Manor too. Radetsky put together a hell of a season. He's at number 4. At number 3, Superman, Dave Flynn. Flynn's had a pretty solid season. Looking at the weekend here for Flynn, you know, he got 5th in Grand Rapids. It's hard. It was misting the whole time. It is what it is. I don't really count that against him. But he got 2nd on Labor Day. He started 3rd row. He drove by Burdick on his home turf. I'm telling you, this guy, he's a season record. He is really good at the Gondikla Speedway. He's going to be solid up there, I promise. I don't know where he's going the following weekend. I'm assuming to defend his championship at the Legendary. I would guess he'd go there. But Dave Flynn, of course, the Fastlane SUPERSTOCK Series champion, he ended that with a pair of seconds and a pair of wins. I mean, what a season he's put together. He's solid. He's at number 3. And at number 2, this was hard for me to do. Kevin Burdick at number 2. See, this is not an overall assessment of the whole season. It's who do I like right now? Who do I think's faster right now? And who do I think is going to be faster this weekend? And I think the next guy's just a little bit on it, but we'll find out. We've got a big weekend here. So Kevin Burdick, now I dropped him to 2. Why? 2 hometown invitationals that were must-win races, and he got 4th at both of them. Talked to him. Wasn't happy. Obviously not happy when you get 4th. You're not even on the podium on your home turf. He had a shot to win in Hibbing. It slipped away. Car was too tight. Missed the setup. It is what it is. That's on him. But the fact is he's had a hell of a season. 29 wins, 28 WISSOTA wins, a pair of $5,000 to win shows with the Shackleton Memorial, and of course he won the Cedar Lake 5K. He's put together a solid season, but now it's crunch time. Him and the 7A tied for the national title race. Who's it going to be? We're going to find out. I'm giving the slight edge to the next guy, and at number 1, the Iron Man, Shane Sobrasky. Now, I'm getting some grief over this because I talked to the people on the committee, and the committee was kind of split. The committee was split on this, okay? They're like 37A, it was a split. We went with the 7A as a committee. Why? Okay, the reason is because he just went to his home turf and beat him. And he's done it before. Now, of course, the reigning national champ is Burdick. Sobrasky's got multiple national championships. It's going to be really interesting to see how it comes down the pipeline here. But right now, a slight nod. Now, I've heard it. People are saying, yeah, but he dodged all the big shows. He didn't follow the SUPERSTOCK series. He didn't go to the 5,000 to win shows. Don't care. This isn't an overall assessment of the season. This is who's hot right now. And if I were to put these two against each other, I'm giving a slight edge to Shane Sobrasky. So he's holding down the top spot in the BuyRaceshirts.com One to Go Show SUPERSTOCK Power Rankings.